So now we are standing before House of Prayer, the chapel of the Dohnavur Fellowship. Dohnavur Fellowship was founded in 1901 for rescuing children from physical and moral danger. So initially Amy used to take the children to the local Anglican church in the village. Reverend Thomas Walker was the Anglican priest there. But as the numbers started increasing, the villagers started complaining because the space was not enough to accommodate everyone. So they asked Amma, why don't you build your own chapel? So she started praying about it. At the same time, there was a great need for healthcare also in the villages. There was cholera and other pandemics. So they had a small hospital inside the compound, just close by. It was catering to some people in the close vicinity, but they wanted to expand the activities. So she was torn between these two ideas, whether to build a hospital or a chapel. The people who were with Amy, her contemporaries, everybody prayed about it, then got a clear direction that they should build the chapel first. So I think it was started probably in 1924, I think, then it was finished in 1927. It was dedicated by the Bishop of Tirunelveli, Right Reverend Norman Tubbs, in November 1927. This is called the House of Prayer. So in the front you can see the symbol of lotus flowers, because Amy likened the young children to lotus buds. So when their childhood is traumatized and when they are in physical and moral, when they are exposed to so much vulnerability and dangers, when they are unable to grow into full human beings, they call themselves that the lotus buds are destroyed before they could bloom fully and be a useful citizens for the society. So metaphorically she had put all lotus flowers here, so that lotus buds can be saved, then they can bloom into full flowers in this family. So, and also it is written in Tamil, Ennidathil Varungal, it means come unto me. So this is the main entrance of the chapel. In 2001 we celebrated our 100th anniversary of Dohnavur Fellowship, and the building also was needing a lot of repairs, because most of the wood inside, it was coated with the neem oil to prevent attacks from termites and other insects. So it was all black, and it was not to look at the wood, it was not very good. So we had to remove all that, and we did polishing, and there were a lot of cracks and other repairs we had to do that. And doors also we tried to repair it, but because this is facing west and it gets the full blast of the afternoon sun, I think that it is disfigured now. One school of thought, they said that we have to remove this creeper because it's causing so much damage, but better senses prevailed. So we tried to protect the creeper as much as the building. So what I did was, we did a separate scaffolding here, and we put the creeper on that, and we took care of it for 2 years. We watered it. So after finishing all the repairs in the building, then we again put it back on the it has got a beautiful off-white yellow flowers shaped like a trumpet. This is beautiful, this bougainvillea. It says, our Alugai Seivendid, he must reign. Actually this gazebo, it is called Aikiya Ara Intam, that is place of reconciliation. The concept behind this is, when you have a difference with your neighbor, if you don't settle it, and if you are not living in harmony with your neighbors, but every Sunday you want to come inside this church and get the blessings of the God, so it is not good, First you be okay with the people who are around you, whom you can see, then you can be okay with the unseen God. So I think this is mainly made for reconciliation. So they have to get Aikyam, in Tamil means reconciliation, especially before the communion service. If they have some grievance against each other, they come here, they apologize with each other, then they enter the church. If they cannot do that, it is up to their conscience, they can come in or they can go out. So this gives a chance for them to reconcile with each other. Sundays you can see people, before the service they come and sit here, they reconcile their differences, then they go inside. The cloud looks very beautiful with this backdrop, that flower. And I also have few photos of the original construction. the 1920s. I have some rare photographs also. Yes, yes. Now we are on the southern side of the chapel. You see the beautiful architecture, you know, those lovely hip roofs and all those wooden louvers and the wooden supports everywhere. So this architecture is mostly influenced by Travancore and Travancore Chinese and little bit of Gothic architecture also. So while designing the chapel, Amy was scouting for a lot of different plans. So at last she came into contact with the engineer who designed the chapel in the WCC, Madras. Yeah. But she very much wanted something in the Travancore style, the local style, because Travancore, that princely kingdom, was very close, just 10 miles from here. So, and most of the artisans in Travancore, they are from this area. So they were able to get very good artisans in this area. So, and most of the materials were locally sourced, like brick, tiles. Teak is also sourced from nearby Travancore hills. So they were able to do that. So if you go to see Padmanabhapuram Palace or Trivandrum, you can see most of the buildings and even some temples, they look very similar to that. And the steep roof, mostly in Travancore, it is designed to keep away the rainfall, you know, because the rainfall is very high, so it immediately it runs off. And also it's very humid. It is surrounded by sea and full of trees. So this air passages, you know, in the midsection, that always allows for a natural draft. It comes in through the sides and goes out on the top. So there is a natural draft. So it is always at least 2 degrees cooler than the surroundings. So, and you see the slope, it's very steep. We call the run versus rise, you know, every 12 inch, how many inches it rises. The main portion is very steep. Yeah, and this is slightly, it has got a lesser, this may be around 33 degrees, that will be more than 45 degrees, it's very steep. So even while doing maintenance repair, you have to be very careful. And you can see the window grills. Okay, can you see anything, any design? You can see a cross indirectly, yes. Because we do not have any cross, candle, anything inside the church except natural flowers. But they have indirectly kept the cross there. Yeah, Chinese sailors. Actually, Travancore and the Malabar coast had a long relationship with many other parts of the world for thousands of years. Chinese, Greeks, Romans, Persians, Arabs. But this architecture you can see in the Newark area, Nepal, and also in China and Japan, Korea. So Travancore also you can see that, because you see this gardening, outside garden design, these colonnades and other creepers. This is mostly Japanese outdoor design. So Japanese have a very aesthetic approach to anything they do, you know, especially the buildings and the outside. And almost most of the other buildings also you can see the Chinese influence, with the ridge beasts, the different shapes in the ridges, and the ceremonial entrance there in the colonnade. These are all the entrance to the Chinese you can see. And in Travancore, the palaces they call kottaram, you know, kottarams. The entrance to the kottaram you can see the similar design. This is, they call the maiden hair, these fans, you know, it's like a maiden's hair. This is they use as a backdrop for flower arrangement for the girls. These fans are called the maiden hair in fellowship. On the backdrop they put some roses and adorn themselves. It's a beautiful. I happened to come across a very old photograph which had a entrance to this colonnade like this. Then I asked my father and grandfather why we don't see that again, but even they could not remember it. So then I asked some elderly Akkals also. They said it had fallen off due to some bad weather or termites. They had destroyed it. So some 20 years back we redesigned it based on that photograph and made this. So we wanted a very strong termite resistant wood. So we selected kongu. It is a dipterocarp wood from the forest, Hopia, paviflora wood, and all the other members are from teak. So this is like a ceremonial entrance to the Chinese palaces or the kottaram in Travancore. This is how all the children they enter the chapel in those days. Hundreds of children, they all fall in line, and they all, as soon as the chimes goes off, they all enter the church through this. Yeah, yes. The whole thing used to be covered with the creepers.
Now it's because it's dry, or?
Yeah, because of monsoon failure, So I think it's very, but I think they still have life in it, so they'll sprout.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see some of these elements, here. These are Gothic arches. It is not Chinese or Travancore. Some of them are, so there are some Gothic elements also. So on a broad note, if you see they wanted a very wide span without any obstruction inside. So they have made an elaborate design. So they have gradually distributed the load to these stone pillars. And you can see self-supported arch with one stone inside. If you remove that, it is everything will fall down, Yeah, something like that. And the stone pillars are very simple, but they are very elegant, you see. Very simple with that. These are all Gothic designs. And all the load is gradually brought down to the pillars. And all the bolt nut heads are camouflaged by a lotus flower, you can see. And you can see the joinery there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Wooden joinery. Now the present carpenters, they find it difficult even to have 2 pieces joining, but nearly you can see even 8 joints, 6 joints. So here also you can see that, it's a very complex joinery there. It's beautiful. So in 2000 we removed almost all this ceiling and tiles. Then we repaired it, relaid it, and we repaired the roof frames also completely. And all these roof members were in black color because neem oil was applied. So we have scraped it off and we have applied polyurethane coat with a termite treatment. So now you can see the natural wood. It is seen now. And same wood, and we haven't added any other coloring. The natural wood, but we have given matte finish so that the grain comes out. If we give glossy finish, it is not visible. Those days we used to have only 2 fans, 2 large fans. So now, but we wanted a similar design, so we ordered through Crompton Creeps some special fan, some antique design. So initially there used to be an old pedal pump organ, reed organ. So then even Amy Carmichael played there. That you can still see near Chandrasthala, near the Chandrashivthalaya office, we still keeping there. I think till the middle 90s we had that organ. But then we had one Technics electronic organ. Then we started recording Amy Carmichael songs. So we needed some authentic sound, pipe organ sound. So this we bought it from Italy, but voiced from England. It is a Viscount organ, so most of them are English pipe organ sounds. So that suits very well for the type of music which we sing here. Yes. And it also has additional sounds like guitar, piano for modern songs also. Table also you can see the lotus theme. Everywhere you can see lotus buds and flowers. See, buds and flowers. You can see that. This is all made here in our workshop. Yes. And this for allowing the natural light to come in. See. Yeah, morning it would look really beautiful. And you can see these chairs, We used to have only few benches because in those days the number of elderly people were very few. Only children were there, most children. Now we have a lot of elderly people. So we made all these chairs in our workshop with the small little pieces of wood. We have made nearly 70 chairs. This is the Koilon tiles, Mangalore tiles. It's from the initial, right from the beginning these are the same, but they regularly wash it. So that's why as the years go by that sheen increases. If we maintain it properly, this will stand forever. But you have to be careful about termites. They are the silent killers like cancer, you know, especially after rainy season. Within overnight they can climb up to 20 feet, we see. So we have to be constantly in watch to keep the termites away, because in those days they didn't do the pre-treatment of the basement. Here, from here maybe you can see that symbolizes Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And you can see a sort of a symbolic vanakam here, you know. Yes, the Indian way of saluting God. Yes, yes. And I forgot to tell you about these tie rods. So now the roof is like this. So suppose if there is a big cyclone or a local thunderstorm with a mini tornado like that, a lot of air gets in, it doesn't get out, it tries to push the roof away. Sometimes most of the roofs collapse because it goes like that. So in order to hold the roof together, we have this tie rods. It is adjustable. It's a stud. So in the center there is a thread, so we can adjust the tension. Yes, yes. Actually, this is not a very elaborate or flamboyant, luxurious building, but it's very simple and noble in design. Yes, yes.